All right, so I have the pleasure of introducing our speaker for today, and I'm not going to introduce her in full because I want her to tell her own story in her own words. So I'm going to give the short version. Phelicia Price was born and raised in Charlotte, but she's now on the eastern part of North Carolina with me. She is a yoga instructor and she is the owner and operator of Fit Fee Yoga. She has, and if I'm incorrect, please correct me, Felicia, when you share your story, I believe has 500 RYT certificate, and she is also a kidney recipient. So, Felicia, please take it away.
Okay, everybody hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Y'all can't say yes because you're muted. All right. Well, first, I really have to say, as people were jumping on, I was like half the people up here I was on a conference call with yesterday. So how did I not know about this group of people meeting on Mondays, and why have I not been here before? So I feel like sharing my story. I feel like so many people on the call already know. But the brief version is that I was diagnosed with kidney disease in 2010. Just kind of really just told my parents and a couple of my sorority sisters, but really didn't share it with anybody else. Just followed the doctor's orders, changed my diet. I was able to keep dialysis at bay for about 6 years. Around that time, my cousin was like, you should probably start telling people that you need an organ. I was like, might be a good idea. So I started sharing it with people and, sharing the number to Biden if you're interested in being a living donor. And, I had, quite a few people actually interested, but, as we know, you can't have any other underlying health concerns, things of that nature. But my cousin, who was in the military, so has a very clean bill of health, was the perfect donor. He lives in Portland, Oregon. So Biden Hospital here in Eastern North Carolina worked with the hospital in Portland for blood work and whatnot, and made everything happen, flew him here. And the surgery was successful on Cinco de Mayo, 2016. So I kind of love the fact that my birthday is on my birthday, well, it is like a second birthday, is on a day that's already, relatively celebratory. So I'm 4 years and some change out. And right around that time in 2016, I was severely depressed from dialysis, to be transparent. And that's where I found the meditation and not quite the breath work yet, but mostly the meditation and mindfulness that I was really trying to embody while I was laying in that recliner miserable. And then after a successful transplant, I'm sure all of my recipients know, maybe your doctor told you similarly, that most transplant recipients gain anywhere from 15 to 30 pounds afterwards. And I was like, that's not going to be me. But since I hadn't had milkshakes or sour cream and onion chips in 6 years, it was on. And pretty much from the hospital straight to cookout, and I'm drinking all the milkshakes my body can handle. And it began to expand. And I said, I've got to do something. And that's where yoga kind of came into play. I thought that would be a nice way to ease myself back into movement. You can't just have a transplant and then go run a 5K. And I just fell in love with it, actually, at the Biden Wellness Center, which unfortunately is closed now. But that's where I found my yoga practice. The 3 teachers that I would see 3 times a week, all of them at the time were in their 70s, 60s, 70s. I think one is in their 80s now. And I just thought to myself, this 70-year-old man is standing on one leg and talking to me, and I'm over here in my 30s and I can barely keep myself up. Like, I need to do whatever he's doing. And I started going 3 days a week. One of my teachers asked me if I was interested in yoga teacher training. And long story short, I haven't slowed down since. I did my 200-hour training here in Greenville. Last April, I spent the entire month in Costa Rica for my advanced yoga teacher training, which is the 300-hour training. That was quite an experience. And ever since then, you know, I've just been very blessed that doors have been open for me to teach various places across town. And with COVID-19 and being in self-quarantine since I think March 13th, I just ended up in May starting my own virtual yoga space. That's the Fit Fee Yoga that LaToya spoke of earlier. And, you know, it's slowly growing, and it's kind of exciting to, you know, have members of essentially my own personal yoga studio from anywhere all over the world. And it's just been great. So I'm excited to share some tidbits with you all today. Just a few breath techniques and exactly what meditation is. So LaToya, do you want me to just go straight into that? Okay. All right. So I'm not, again, I can't see everybody. I just really hate that. I really want to see your faces. But if you're sitting in a chair, I would advise you to kind of scoot to the edge of the chair so that your back is not up against the chair. Feet are planted flat on the floor, knees over ankle, if at all possible. Just begin to roll your shoulders, you know, back and down, finding that good posture. A lot of times we sit, we're rounded, and our neck and our chin is out just a bit. So kind of just bringing the shoulders back, allowing your chin to be tucked in just a bit, kind of feeling everything stacked on top of each other, which unfortunately probably feels strange because most of us have really poor posture. So even just as you're sitting, eating dinner, watching television, something as simple as going from here to here can make all the difference, because we're constantly on the computer, we're texting, even reading, all of these things. So our shoulders are forward most of the day. So even just bringing the shoulders back a bit, bringing your chin kind of level with the ground, and just closing your eyes just for a moment, just to connect with your breath. So right now, we're not thinking about anything that happened earlier today. We're not thinking about anything we have to do later on this afternoon, this evening. Just taking a moment to hear the cadence of your own heartbeat, to notice your own breath. And so what we're doing now would be considered breath awareness. Breath work is manipulating your breath in some way. And that's what's so beautiful about our breath. We breathe naturally. We don't have to tell ourselves to inhale and exhale. But what's really awesome is that whenever someone says, hold your breath, you can do it. Whenever someone says, take a long inhale or a long exhale, you can do it, so that we can manipulate our breath as well. So while we're here, let's take 3 full breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose. And when you inhale, try to let the breath come from your belly. Let your belly stick out as you inhale, then feel your ribs expand, and then feel your chest rise. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale a sigh. 2 more just like that. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. 1 more time. Deep breath. Exhale, let it go. And you can begin to blink your eyes open or keep your eyes closed for the duration of the time I'm talking. I'm not going to ask you to do anything that you really even need to see me for. So what we're going to do is just get into a little bit of breath work. I'm going to introduce you to 2 or 3 of my favorite ones. The first one is simply just the counting breath. So inhaling for the count of 4 and exhaling for the count of 4. You don't have to worry about counting. I'm going to do that for you. So let's take a deep breath in together. Exhale a sigh. And now inhale for 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Return to your natural breathing pattern. So the questions I would like for you to ask yourself after that breathwork exercise was the inhaling for the entire count of 4. Was that difficult for you? If that was difficult for you, most likely it's because you're breathing from your chest. Not as much air can get in if you're breathing from here, as opposed to initiating the breath in your belly, letting it rise up. So even just that visual lets you know you can hold a lot more breath from here to here than just from here to here. So that's just something to be conscious of, if not quite in your everyday breathing, when you're doing breath work or any type of breath exercise, to do your best to let the breath start from the belly. If that particular exercise was easy for you, then on your own time, I would recommend you count to 6 or count to 8 or count into a point where you're noticing that maybe it takes a little bit more work. All right, so this next breath work exercise is called box breathing. It's very similar to the counting breath, only you can visualize a box. So you'll inhale for 4, you'll hold at the top for 4, you'll exhale for 4, and hold at the bottom for 4. Okay, so let's take another deep breath in together. Exhale it out. And inhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Return to your natural breathing pattern. So as you see, this was kind of an add-on to the counting breath, the box breath. It's the same thing. If 4 was too much for you, start with 2. If 4 was a little too easy for you, move to 6. Your box can be whatever number you choose. This is a very grounding breath. This is actually, I think they call it something different, but any of us, if you've ever been in therapy or have anxiety attacks, this is a breath exercise a lot of times that is used to help with grounding. So I really love the box breathing and the counting breath, but this one that I'm about to introduce now is called 3-7-8 breath. This is my personal favorite, but as I'm introducing these to you, find the one that, works best for you. So what I love about this breath is you inhale for the count of 3, you hold for the count of 7, and you exhale for the count of 8. And the reason I love that breath is because it's a reminder of how much control we have over our feelings and thoughts and emotions and how we respond to them instead of reacting by simply controlling the breath. And what I mean by that is, think about when something tragic happens and the first thing some people do are like, and they take that big inhale. And when you take a big inhale like that, that activates that fight or flight response in your brain. So when you take that big inhale, it's signifying, oh gosh, something is not right. We have to protect ourselves. Do we have to fight? Like, what do we have to do, right? Well, if you think about that happening when you inhale, then what do you think happens when you exhale? It is the complete opposite. When you are releasing your breath, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of your brain that says, we are relaxed, we are fine, things are smooth sailing. So I know for me, when this was first introduced to me, I used it a lot in traffic. My road rage in Greenville is quite real. So it's much better now. But I think this is a place that I think most people can relate. Maybe not so much now. I don't really drive anywhere. But anything in your life, if you have kids, just anything, just close your eyes and just take a minute. And even if you can't remember 3, 7, 8, just remember to inhale for a certain amount and try to exhale at least twice as long as you took an inhale. So again, with this breath, we're going to inhale for 4, not 3. I'm sorry, that's a different breath. We're going to inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. So the exhale is twice as long as the inhale. So again, sitting up tall, if you found your shoulders have slouched a bit, let's bring ourselves back. into that good posture position. And just remember, with breath work and meditation, it is to relax you, but it's to relax you in a very focused way. So you're also welcome to do this breath work lying down. All right, let's take another deep breath in together, inhaling through the nose and exhaling a sigh. And now inhale for 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so those are the 3 different types of breath work that I wanted to show you today that are pretty simple. Just remember, the first one is just count, whatever that is, equal inhales and exhales, kind of just to get your body used to breath manipulation after you do some breath awareness. Then if you want to move that to a box breath, same thing, even inhale, even hold, even exhale, even hold. This breath, 4, 7, 8. If you don't remember the numbers, just remember that the inhale is half what the exhale is. So with this exercise, I know in the previous one I asked, did you have any trouble inhaling for that long? Usually with this exercise, people have trouble exhaling for the entire count of 8 and feel like they run out of breath. So that is actually something that you can work on when you're inhaling in that 4. Inhale from the belly, gather as much air as you can, hold at the top for that 7, and slowly release the air, because the point is to be exhaling during the entire count. So I don't know if anyone has any questions at this point. We'll just wait till the end.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. To wait till the end. Okay. All right. So now I would like to do a short meditative practice. I would say if this is your first time meditating, especially me, I can't see you anyway. So it's perfectly fine. Or if you want to turn your camera off or whatnot, because I know for some of us, if you're not used to just sitting with yourself in your own thoughts, the very first time you sit to do meditation can be very daunting. If meditation is already in your practice, then you know how this goes. Now, meditation, I do not recommend lying down like I do the breath work, because you are supposed to be focused. And a lot of times people think meditation is just getting rid of your thoughts. It's not so much getting rid of our thoughts, because we are human and we're going to have thoughts. We just can't help that. I like to think of the thoughts as like tabs on a computer screen, and we're just trying to decrease the number of tabs. So if you're someone that normally has 20 tabs open, let's see, can we get you to 15? And then let's see, can we get you to 10? Like that kind of thing. So what'll happen is you'll have thoughts, but I want you to notice them without judgment. Like, excuse me, you may be sitting and the thought of what to have for dinner may pop in your mind. Well, under normal conditions, you would say, oh, what are we going to have for dinner? Well, I don't know what so-and-so might like, or I don't know if we have any chicken in the, like, then you kind of go down the rabbit hole of thoughts. With meditation, when you have the thought, what are we going to have for dinner? Notice that you thought about it, but then let it go. Let it just float away like a cloud. It will come back to you. But in this moment, what we're trying to do is focus on our breath, focus on being present. And so that thought is, that's what I mean when I say don't give any attention to that thought. It's okay that it came and it's okay that it's there, but let's not give any more attention to it. Right now, we are giving ourselves the gift of our own attention. So with this meditation, again, sitting on the edge of your seat, and if you have a pillow, it's the same thing. I don't think you guys can see, but I'm sitting on this bolster and I'm sitting on the very edge of it. so that my knees are lower than my hips. So if that's an option for you, that's much better for the low back to have your knees lower than your hips. So we can close our eyes or just have a soft gaze, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Again, we're rolling the shoulders back. Maybe move a little bit in the neck, do some shoulder rolls, get some wiggles out. And while you're doing that, just so I can say, if you know the history of yoga, all of the movements that you see, you know, warrior one, warrior two, all the sun salutations, in the very, very, very short sentence of the history of yoga, all of that movement, the purpose of all these postures is to basically get all of that out of your body to enable you to sit still for meditation. That was the entire point of it to begin with. So that just goes to show that our bodies know that we need movement. We crave movement. We were built for movement. But just like we do workout to activate our muscles, our physical muscles in our body, meditation is what we do to exercise our mind and to have more mental clarity and just to be able to, again, respond to things better instead of reacting. I'm naturally a very reactive person, whether it's positive or negative. I'm super excited or super angry, and it's really, really quick. And this was a very good exercise for me to do, to be able to just kind of sit with things. You know, how many of you have ever, you know, jumped the gun in your mind and didn't say anything, and you were so happy you didn't because the end result was nothing like you thought it was going to be. For some of us, that's not a natural thing to do. And sometimes you need to do things to bring yourself into some calm or bring yourself into the present instead of letting your mind kind of run wild. So once you've gotten some wiggles out, some shoulder rolls, moving your head from side to side, wiggling the hands and fingers, I will tell you briefly, if you've seen people meditating and they have their palms up on their knees, you can have your palms up to receive energy. You can turn your palms down and place them on the tops of your knees and thighs. And that is for grounding. Just feeling the heat of your own hand touching your thighs is to help with grounding. And if you're someone like me that just has trouble focusing, you can place one hand, your right hand in your left, and press your thumbs together. I'm bringing it up here because I'm not sure if you can see it when I'm down here. But this, when you press your thumbs together, it's a great way to make sure that you're alert, because while you're meditating, if you start noticing if your fingers start doing that, then you know you kind of lost focus. So you can choose any one of those mudras, which is what they're called. Either have your palms facing up to receive energy, turn your palms down for grounding, or you can place your right hand in your left, bring your thumbs to touch for focus. So whichever of those three that you feel like you need in this moment. And we're only going to do 3 minutes. We're not going to do 5, 10, 15. I've sat through 30-minute, I want to think in my 300, we might have done an hour. I don't know how long we were sitting there. It was real. So I'm not going to lead you through that today, but just 3 minutes to connect with your breath. One more thing, once you choose your mudra, how you want your hands, I want you to think of your own personal mantra. And so instead of counting your breath, inhaling for 1 and exhaling for 2, which you can do if you can't think of a mantra today, that's going to be my, that would be what I would instruct you to do. However, if you can think of a mantra, and it can't be long, it needs to be something that you can say half of it on your inhale and half on your exhale. And one of the mantras that I teach in my class, a wonderful go-to, is simply, I am enough. So you inhale, I am, and you exhale, enough. And this is what you are constantly repeating in your mind. And if you're doing that and focusing on your breath, it's really hard to think about what you want for dinner or really anything else for that matter. So that's why focusing on the breath is such a vital part of meditation, because it's literally the internal thing that we have that keeps us present, because the breath is never in the past and it's never in the future. So if you're focusing on your inhale and exhale, you are automatically in the present. All right, so take a moment and think of your own personal mantra. I am enough. I am safe. I am okay. I am strong. Anything, and make it very personal to you, because it is your personal mantra. This is what you're saying in your head. And we all know that we speak to ourselves more than anyone else speaks to us. So we need to be speaking positivity and speaking life into ourselves. All right, so everyone sitting up tall, have your hands in whichever mudra is best for you. Shoulders rolled back, eyes are closed. We'll take 3 full breaths together and then we'll begin. So deep inhale. Exhale it out. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And I will let you know when 3 minutes are up. And if you found yourself already thinking of other things, that's okay. Just bring yourself back to your breath, back to your mantra. Don't think about, am I doing this right? You're doing it. The fact that you're sitting down and taking time for yourself is enough. It's okay that you drifted off. Now is as good a time as any to bring yourself back to your breath. Come back to the breath if you've drifted off. Remember your mantra and speak positivity into yourself. Inhaling positivity and exhaling anything that doesn't serve you. Okay, with your eyes still closed, bring your left hand and your right hand to your heart. Feel the beat of your heart, the rhythm of your soul, the reminder of life, and that you are here in this moment. And take a moment just to think about what your heartbeat means to you today. It represents an opportunity to forgive, the opportunity to try something new, and the opportunity to be kinder to ourselves and to others. You can exhale your hands back down and blink your eyes open. And that's it, you guys.